Do y'all remember when the console pundits said that the juice was not worth the squeeze to bringing games to Xbox? Do y'all remember when many of them touted it to seem as if that the PlayStation ecosystem, especially the PlayStation fanboys, was capable enough to support a lot of these games and titles? Even with that, a lot of these publishers are starting to see things differently. The market is saturated. Nobody is really pining for your game. And behold, what's crazy is someone else is going to make your game. That's the crazy thing. Expedition 33 basically went ahead and made a French Final Fantasy and served it up to all audiences. And man, that thing sold like hot cake. We look at this particular tweet from user Maro NL. An analyst, shout out to you, credit to them. They broke this down and said Square Enix have shared a new 3-year reboot for long-term growth plan, which includes enhance productivity by optimizing development footprint, number one. Number two, promote multi-platform strategies for HD titles. I thought y'all said that this exclusivity thing was a quality bringer. It was this and that and that. And these pundits, y'all know them because they have staked their entire reputation in this conversation on these premises. I'm not going to even need to call any names. Number three, 100 billion yen available for investments. Ask ChatGPT, what's 100 billion yen? They said 600. I said they. ChatGPT said 680 million US dollars. ChatGPT basically computes it to 680 million dollars. They didn't say jack squat. It's an AI language module. Get out of here. Structural reforms and optimized lineup. So this user basically, and then they said PC market revenue share has risen from 20% to approximately 40% in the past 3 years. Decided to discontinue development of some titles and invest additional funds in titles that require refinement, establish a mid to long-term pipeline to achieve a shift from quantity to quality. Jabber Altera, shout out to you. You went ahead and highlighted this and said, promote multi-platform strategies for HD titles. And then you posted all of these games. I wouldn't worry about this. Do you know why? They are the ones that are going to be responsible for actually, sailing their boat the way that their boat needs to be sailed. If they don't sail their boat the way their boat needs to be sailed, then they vacate the markets to others who are hungry enough to get in there. Let me tell you something crazy. They got this bag to make Final Fantasy 16 exclusive to PlayStation. Maybe they got some development costs. I don't know what they got. But the one thing that you could say in this regard is they were, in a position where they had to leave that game as an exclusive to PlayStation for a significant amount of time. Then it went to PC, of which PlayStation dropped God of War on PC. So an unprecedented look, in my opinion anyways, kind of almost stifling them rather than actually elevating them compared to Expedition 33 and Oblivion Remaster Remake, which elevated both games. Weirdly enough, you would have thought that they would actually, that one, especially Oblivion, would block the other, but actually the other one was able to shine on the back of it. And then the game has still not made its way to Xbox because I'm almost certain that there is some level of a timed limitation for them to bring the game to Xbox, hampering their capability of actually making money. How do you do business in a way that does not promote you making more money long-term and short-term? You have to have that built in. This is not a matter of favoring Game Pass or whatever it is, but this is an irresponsible methodology to carry out business. It's not as if you didn't have your previous Final Fantasy game, right? That was a predecessor to Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox. It's not like, oh, this is new. You literally shut out this particular audience base just so that you could chase a quick buck, therefore not looking intently to seeing that you can leverage the already existing audience on this ecosystem to go ahead and make some more money. Now you're over here restructuring what you already should have restructured a while ago. And guess what? While you're restructuring, other people are making your freaking game. You hear what I said? As you restructure, people are making your game or taking the airtime that you should have had all this while. This is what makes it very interesting at the end of the day when you think about it. It's just so funny that anybody will think that this is the way that you should do business, and they carried out that methodology all that while. And now, guess what? Guess what? They're speaking different languages. Oh, we want to make money with our audience. We want to do this. Want to promote a multi-platform. Promote a multi-platform, bro. You're in need of a multi-platform strategy because your counterparts in Japan are farming dough. Look at Capcom. Every minute, Capcom's like, "Hey, we got a game." The PC gaming community is like, "What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?" Xbox is like, "What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?" PlayStation's like, "What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?" And they get in there and they make money. They don't have to sit here and come and start explaining their financial, strategy every 20 seconds. Like, yeah, when we saw you guys tell your shareholders that, "Hey, man, we didn't meet financial expectations," well, we all knew that this is exactly what you needed to do. What's the point in coming out here to go ahead and reiterate something that you should have been doing in the first place once again? Because even Capcom themselves, they probably went ahead and saw that this strategy did not necessarily work out for them. And they decided to basically back away. Think about it. Especially with Street Fighter V, how that game never made its way to Xbox. I think that really hampered the sales and the reach of that game. Yes, the game sucked at launch, but a community of gamers, especially in the fighting, games community, seemed like they were willing to push that game forward, but alienating them in order to go burden them with buying another console is absolute horse dung. That's what that is. When you think about it, if you consider that this is the case. So now Square Enix has learned a very valuable lesson, which is give your audience what it is that they want. Find your audience wherever they are. And let them know that you are here for them and you're going to serve them in whatever circumstance, that they need to be in. To play your game is a privilege. It's not a right. To buy your game is a privilege to you, the developer. The customer is the primary focus. And if they would just have done that with their games, and you may say, well, PlayStation wanted to go ahead and invest money with it. Bro, there are other investors out there. There are other investors out there, man. That's just the reality. There are other investors that would have been happy to invest in a Final Fantasy game, knowing that the game had brand name recognition and had a track record that could be counted on for people to buy the game were it available to them, and they could have launched multi-plat and put themselves in a much better position. Sure, talk about the quality of the game, but how can the Xbox gamer know until they play it to judge or assess the quality of the game? Do you think many of them would have been so keen on jumping to go buy a brand new PlayStation device just to play that one game and then let the device sit there and gather dust without any prospects at the end of the day? So when you consider and you think about it, the sensible way to do business is to get your games into as many hands as possible. And that's what Square Enix is actually seeing right now. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.